All of these interesting sardine tins, really colourful. For breakfast, we have found this place called Garden Cafe Porto, which is actually a brunch place. It does look really nice on the inside, I love this vibe. But as the weather is pretty nice today, we're going to make the most of that and sit outside. Steph got the salmon salad, which I didn't actually get on video, but I did get a photo. And I got the eggs Florentine, which is poached eggs on top of a brioche bun with mushrooms. That is what I'm all about. And it was delicious. I was so ready for that. On the pastry section, so I got this out of curiosity because it was in the pastry section and it was called peanut butter toast and there were no pictures of it. So I ordered it out of curiosity and yes, it was peanut butter on toast with banana, but still, it was delicious. I wasn't ready for it though because it was so filling, but woo, delicious. Oh, the staff there were really friendly.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful architecture everywhere. Out of all the Porto magnets we've seen, it's got to be that one. Actually, I've just realised it actually says Porto on it as well. It's got to be that one. I love that. Who needs a Mickey waffle or a Mickey pretzel when you've got a custard tart? Oh. Oh, it's a little crazy.
Hey babe, for $7.50 you could get wine and a pastel de nata.
For what?
For €7.50 you get some wine.
God.
And
Yes.
is it locked or can you walk up there? Oh, you can. I want a picture on that. Cute, like it's just picturesque.
Woo! We are here in the São Bento Railway Station, and in here are around 20,000 tiles. And the images that you can see all around, they're all depicting scenes from Portuguese history and culture, with landscapes, the Douro vineyards, the transportation of port, and the evolution of transportation. And these tiles were placed here over an 11-year period. Apparently these are 10 a penny.
So cool.
I love that it's just a regular Tuesday, just a normal Tuesday in April, but the streets are absolutely buzzing. Such an atmosphere. We are just on our way down to the river. Making our way downtown to the river. Walking fast.
Yes, sir. Tell me, how can I help you with
Steph just laughed at me because I said that it reminds me of Universal Studios around here. It's just funny that it's a real genuine place, real genuine houses, but it just looks like a movie set.
I'd be like, oh my god, Porto and Pittsburgh, same place.
The Dom Luís Bridge connects two cities, Porto and Villanova de Gaia, over the Douro River. And if certain aspects of this bridge kind of remind you of another famous landmark, that's right, the Eiffel Tower, well, that's because this bridge was designed by a student of Gustav Eiffel. Although many do mistake it with being designed by Gustav himself. Gustav did actually design a bridge further up the river, the Maria Pia Bridge, but it's not accessible by pedestrians, so it doesn't really get the recognition that the Dom Luís Bridge does. Oh, how beautiful is this? And it's all made out of rubbish and just bits of scrap. We stumbled on this nice little port wine lodge, really just looking for some toilets, which they did kindly let me use. So, we didn't want to leave without trying a tipple, especially as we haven't had any yet so far. And this port is actually produced the traditional stomping way, where they stomp the grapes with their bare feet.
Digestive at room temperature
Okay.
after your meal. There you go, please.
Okay, cheers.
As the sun set over the Douro River, we headed back to get showered and changed, and then went for dinner at a vegan restaurant, literally at the bottom of the road from our hotel. First, we have the homemade gnocchi with creamy dandelion sauce and nettle oil. Interesting. We are not too sure what this is. They just took the menu and we kind of forgot what we ordered, so we'll have to ask for it back. But before that, let's try it and see if we can guess. I don't even know which way to go. Maybe
I guess go with the beet. Which is
like
that? Yeah, that's good. I would use a knife, babe.
Oh yeah. Oops, I took all of that. Shall I put it in?
No, it's good. Go for it.
Oh yeah, it's sweet potato.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the sweet potato. This is the creamy corn porridge with polenta cracker and some herbs and flowers. The mushrooms with brown lentil pate, kukicha tea and garlic aioli. I have to say though, I'm kind of thinking The Last of Us. Ellie, get behind me. We enjoyed everything that we ate here. Everything was genuinely delicious. The one thing we do think worth mentioning is that the portions are pretty small and it did take quite a while in between dishes. And when we asked, they said that they do stagger their dishes, and that's just how they do it. That's their vibe, which is absolutely fine if you're prepared for that. But we were feeling like a couple of cookie monsters. We literally could have. That's how hungry we were. So yeah, it did leave us still pretty peckish and wanting more. As I'm still pretty hungry, I've stopped by this mall for a Pizza Hut, and I just wanted to show you like how cool this is. I love this like old school vibe. You know, like how now they seem to like modernize everything, which in some cases, you know, that's okay, that's fine, I like that. But I just love this vibe, like all the facades of the Portuguese buildings just outside the restaurants. I love it. Oh, how cool would this little spot be to enjoy your Pizza Hut? But I'll be taking my pizza back and enjoying it in the hot tub with a super bock. Steph just wants popcorn and Prosecco. Morning. Coffee in the morning, beer at night. The next day we had an actual wine cellar tour booked that we were running late for, but we wasn't too far behind.
But even though it's one of the main reasons, so we produce this wine at the Douro region, there. We age this wine here in Gaia, but we call it Porto wine. So it's kind of a triangle. It's interesting to know. And now I'd like you to see the map. But wine needs a quiet place, dark, silent place, humid as well. Well, sometimes but we have to, because that's the way it is. Port wine doesn't like big variations of temperature, and that is very important, either to age or to store it. It's the opposite when it comes to the production, and I will explain why. So, we are here, here, Porto, so it's here, more or less, here, I would say here. And then, when we want to go to the Douro region, which is around 110 kilometers away from here, we get to this region, which is divided in 3 sub-regions: Baixo Porto, Cima Porto, Douro Superior. So we have 3 different sub-regions, and the closer we get to the border with Spain, so here it is, there, sorry, here. The closer we get to the border with Spain, the drier and the hotter the weather will be. So there are, this is very important to tell you. This was the first demarcated and regulated region in the world in 1756 by Marquês de Pombal. There were in Italy and Hungary the first demarcated regions, but regulated with laws to obey and to apply. This was the first one. So we can only produce Porto wine inside of this region. We need the soil, the climate, and also the types of grapes. Concerning the soil is schist or shale. I'll try to see if we have here, yes. So you can see, and pass it on please, thank you. So it's not a solid rock. It's a rock that has gaps between them, between the small pieces. So the schist or shale is going to keep the heat during the day, and it will release it during the night. So it's going to help to control the temperature for the vineyards. And because there are gaps between the stones, so it's not a solid rock, the roots it will be easier for them to grow to the underground, and they will try to search for the water they need to feed the grapes. And this is very important if you think that here at this region it doesn't rain a lot. So the vineyards will suffer to try to get the water that they need. So this is one factor, but there are other 2 at least. Thank you. Thank you. The other one is the climate. They say that they have 9 months of winter and 3 months of hell. So you can imagine the difference. In the winter, -5 up to -5. In the summer, up to 45, 46, 47. So you can imagine it's very difficult for people to work and to live there. But for the grapes, that's excellent, because the grapes are going to concentrate a big quantity of sugar, all the complexity of all the best characteristics of the grapes, they will keep them. It's very difficult to use machines there. We have to pick the grapes by hand. They will put all the grapes in the lagarge. Lagarge is a big inox a big inox kind of box, or a granite big box, where they will put all the grapes and they will step on the grapes. In the past, they used to do that in a traditional way with the people's feet. Nowadays, we have mechanical robots that do that. So we have to keep up with time. So we only do that at Quinta do Vesúvio, the traditional way. For all the other wines that we produce, we have the mechanical robots that simulate the weight and the temperature of the human feet. So it gives us a consistent work. We'll start the fermentation process, so the natural process of the transformation of the sugar of the grapes into alcohol. And what happens? The main difference between Porto wine and all the other wines is that we are going to stop that process. So the grapes have the yeasts, the natural yeasts in them. We are going to kill them. Well, that's what we have to do. We kill the yeast, so we stop the transformation of the residual sugar of the grapes into alcohol. And that's why in the end we have a wine with a high level of alcohol, but also a high level of sugar, because there was sugar that was not transformed into alcohol. So the sooner they stop the fermentation process, they will add grape spirit with 77% of alcohol. No color, no flavor, this kind of a distilled wine made with very good grape, so it's of a high quality. We add that grape spirit with 77% of alcohol, we stop that process, and the winemakers will decide if they want to do a sweeter wine or a drier wine, even though it will always be sweet. In the end, we'll have a wine with an average of 18 to 22 degrees of alcohol. Not much if we talk about vodka or rum, but for port wine is already a high level of alcohol. Once we stop that process, the wine will rest at the Douro region until the next spring. So we are talking from beginning of September, 4 or 5 weeks, harvest, fermentation process, we stop that, the wine will rest there. Next spring, so March, April, this time more or less, we bring the wine to Gaia to age, and then it can age for decades. 2, 3, 5 years or 50, 60, 70 years. I will explain later the differences of the wine. In the past, I don't know if you already saw the Ribeira boats that we have near the river or in front of the river, the very beautiful boats. Those were the ones that were used in the past to bring the barrels to Gaia. Later, the train was also used for that purpose, and nowadays we have stainless steel trucks that do that job.
Bem-vindos às caves Cockburns. Estas são as maiores caves de vinho do Porto da zona histórica de Vila Nova da Gaia. Temos aqui mais vinho do Porto em pipas e balseiros de madeira do que em qualquer outra adega desta linda e tradicional zona histórica.
The aged tawnies will be laid down for 10 or 20 years to produce the Cockburn 10 and 20-year-old. They are normally set up 3, sometimes 4 in height, and the wines will be transferred into these casks normally when they're about 4 or 5 years old. At that stage, these barrels are set up all by hand, and the casks are filled with a wine that will then be taken off its lees once a year. But other than that, these wines will not generally be moved until they are blended into a lot such as the Cockburn 10-year-old. Nowadays in the wine trade, it is unusual to age wines any length of time in wood, and this lodge is a testimony to the authentic wine that we are producing. Port wine is produced in the Douro Valley, and after the harvest, the wine is brought down to Vila Nova da Gaia, which is close to the Atlantic Ocean and has a much cooler climate than the Douro, which is more appropriate for aging wines. The wines will initially be stored in these large wooden vats. This vat holds about 150,000 litres, and the size of the vat is important for producing wines like Cockburn Special Reserve. As you can see, this wine has a dark red colour. It starts to show a little bit of yellow on the rim, which is natural from the aging process in wood, and this aging process gives complexity to the fresh fruit of the young wine. As garrafas é uma amostra do lote que temos presentemente em envelhecimento. Nós aqui na sala de provas o que procuramos fazer é manter o estilo da casa Cockburn e, portanto, quando temos este processo de blending, o que estamos a fazer é tentar produzir um novo vinho que seja o mais parecido possível com o anterior lote. Este processo é um processo que se aprende ao longo de muito processo. É um processo que se aprende na prática, no dia-a-dia de trabalho, e é preciso muitos anos de experiência, como os vinhos com os quais trabalhamos, em geral são bastante velhos, e é preciso perceber hoje como é que estes vinhos vão estar daqui a 15 ou 20 anos. E, portanto, esse processo é um de aprendizagem e de muitos anos de experiência.
Careful here, you have one floor. There we go. take as many photos as you want. So this is the same coopers that you saw at the video. This is very important because today they mainly repair the vats and the barrels. And why? Because since 1996 there was a law that obliged the Porto wine houses to sell or to export their wines in the bottle. So nowadays we don't need as many vats as we did in the past. So mainly they repair them and they will check if there are leaks, if there is a problem with the wood. And as you saw on the video, sometimes they have to walk around with flashlights to see if everything is okay. If the barrels have a problem, we will take the wine out. Here you can see some of them, they have kind of a Bordeaux color. They were already used to age other Porto wines. These staves, sometimes we have to replace them because the tannin of that is in the oil.
You ruin the wine that you stick in there.
Exactly, that's it. So we can use it for good. It's kind of a
Inception.
strong wine.
Oh my god, a picture within a picture within a picture.
Exactly, never new, always already used. And for example, those are already used, it's not a problem. That's all connected. All the things are connected. And now I want you to see the other warehouse.
Oh, I can smell it. It smells like port, obviously. Oh, delicious.
Whites, rosés, rubies, and tawnies. Whites are produced with white grapes, the red ones with reds. I say this because in the past they used to mix everything. Nowadays they separate them. Whites for whites and reds for reds. The wine will mainly stabilize and won't have a big oxidation process. So the wine will have a light color, it's light, fresh, fruity. We usually drink it before the meal. Of course, this is very personal. Some people drink it before, other people after. Doesn't matter. The most important thing is that you enjoy the wine that you are drinking. And I don't know if you already heard about Porto tonic. Instead of adding gin tonic, we have the white Porto. We add white Porto, ice, lemon, and tonic water. So it's a very refreshing cocktail, especially in the summer. Some people they say, well, I'm not used to drink this wine in a cocktail. Yes, it's true. There is a traditional way and there is the, I would say, the modern way. So we have to keep up with times and we want to try to reach the traditional public, but also younger people. So the most important thing is that you enjoy the wine that you are drinking. It doesn't matter if it's a cocktail, wine alone, with a pairing or not. If you enjoy it and you create good memories, that's very, very important. If you associate the wine with a good memory, I'm sure that you will always enjoy it wherever you are.
See all of them.
Whoa. Whoa.
So total, more or less. So we have almost 1 liter per person. So
Perfect.
it's already a lot. Is it? Well, probably, maybe not. So here we have whites in inox vats, and we also have rubies and tawnies. As I told you before, the rosés we are not producing at the moment. Just for you to have an idea, the rosés are produced the same vinification process as the white, but they use red grapes. They take the skin of the grape out and then they use the interior part of the grape. So that's why in the end the wine will have a pinkish color. Concerning the two typical ones, the rubies and the tawnies, the majority of the production of port wine is with the red wines. Here we have on your right the barrels, on the left over there the vats, and here we have the tunnels, which are, I would say, in the middle, more or less. Rubies and tawnies are produced with red grapes, intense red dark color. It will also keep its original flavor, I would say. Berry, strawberry, cherries. It will be an intense and full-bodied wine. They call it ruby because it reminds us the color of the precious stone with the same name. The process of oxidation is going to be faster, and that is going to change the color of the wine. The ruby has an intense color because the process of oxidation is slow. Here, this is faster. The wine will have kind of a lighter amber golden color, and you can stay here, say 2 years maybe, but then for decades. Your old tonic. We are not talking about a specific date. So the tonics will have the same characteristics. So they want to create a wine that you can recognize the date. So it's not a specific date. You'll have younger and older wines that are blended there. Well, we try to produce the best wines. It doesn't matter if it's a classic, reserve, or the vintage. Of course that we want to produce the best ones. But not all the grapes or not all the liquid, the wine itself in the end will have the same capacity to age or to improve. So there is the vintage, a wine that ages a maximum of 2 years in vats, and then it's bottled. We need an exceptional year, exceptional grapes, an exceptional harvest. Usually you'll see the year when the grapes were picked, for example, 2007. You know that wine, the grapes were picked that specific year. If you don't have that information, those are blends, like the majority of the Porto wines that I told you about until now. So different years, different harvests. One specific year from that specific type. And we need to keep the bottles in the horizontal position because we need the pour to stay always close. Isolate the wine to avoid the contact with the oxygen. So this is very important. And once we keep the wine in very good conditions, we can keep it, we can age it for decades if we want to. And I would like you to see the current collection of the Singleton family. We have here wines from different years. It's also important to tell you that since the port is a natural product, we also have to report the vintages every 20 years. They have specific machines to do that, and it's very important to do that because if the cork gets dry, it will let the oxygen get inside of the bottle and it can ruin the wine, so we don't want to do that. So here you can see, for example, CKD means Cockburns. So the vintage from the year 2017. Almost there. Exactly. We only have one bottle of that wine from 1861. Well, they are not for sale, the older ones. But if they were, we don't know the exact price. We would need an auction, and on the auctions we can have many different prices. It could be 5,000 or 1 million, we never know. But if you imagine the quantity of work that we have here, not only because of all the work itself, the production, the picking of the grapes, all the process, but also the emotional work that is here. Many generations have worked with these wines, so it's not only financial or cultural or historical, it's also something very personal. Although it happens, of course, and sometimes they might have to fill in the wine with the same type of wine, of course.
Within the bottle?
I'm sorry?
Within a bottle?
Yes, because we also lose wine through the cork. Yes, not as much as in contact with the wood, but it does happen. So imagine that you have a very old vintage at home and you open the bottle. It might not be fully complete. It has an important information. Once you open the bottle, since it's not used to the contact with the oxygen, it's going to oxidize quite fast. So you'll have to drink it in a few days, 2 to 3 days maximum. The vintage, yes. If you are with friends and family, it's not a problem. You drink it quickly. Well, if we are thirsty in 2-3 hours, we can also do that. But usually people, they tend to drink this wine in a special occasion. If you have a specific year on the label, usually it's a more specific wine made in a specific year, so we have to drink it quicker. For example, we have the late bottle vintage, which is bottled later in comparison with the vintage because it stays between 4 to 6 years in big vats and it's bottled later. That's why we give that name to the wine. Ours is filtered, so it's the final quality. It won't age inside the bottle. Final quality. Even if we have a specific year filtered, you can drink it for a few weeks. But usually, not usually, the vintages, yes, you always have to drink it quite quickly because it's a special wine, so we also have to drink it in a special way. Thank you. We have here our assistant. So the special reserve is a casual wine. Of course, that the older, usually you would say the older the better. You have there as well the late bottle vintage, the one that ages between 4 to 6 years in big vats and then it's bottled. Ours is filtered. It's not going to age inside of the bottle, so it's the final quality. We have these wines that we can also drink as the rubies in general, strong chocolate desserts, red fruit desserts, and strong cheese as well. So I'll leave you to enjoy your wines. Thank you very much for your attention and interest. I hope that you have enjoyed the tour. If you have any other questions, any doubts, please tell me. I'll be here to help.
Well, I have a question just generally, like the smell. So when we went to another place, it smelled way more alcoholic. Like it smelled like I was going to take a shot. This doesn't smell that way. Is there a reason?
It depends on the quantity of alcohol that the wines have, but also if they are younger or older wines.
Okay.
The younger the wine, I would say the
Stinkier.
The more alcohol you will perceive in your nose.
Okay.
So the older the wine gets, the smoother, the more complex.
Okay.
So usually sometimes the quantity of alcohol is the same, but because it's more complex and elegant, you will see that it's a smoother wine. You will see the difference. There are two restaurants that sometimes our colleagues go for lunch. If you want, I can write them down.
Yes.
They are close to the river, so you just have to go down the street 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I'll write down the names for you.
Thank
Do you
you.
have any questions concerning the beginning of the tour? Our brand was founded in 1815 by Robert and John Cockburns. They were Scottish. Their main goal was to produce quality wines. So they started to produce Porto wine, and together with other families, Cobbs, Teagues, Smithies, for many decades they produced very good wines. But as in general, well, in the world, with the First and Second World War, there were some financial problems, and we had to sell our brand.
Oh, wow.
So we sold it to some multinationals, and it passed from multinational to multinational corporative groups, and their focus was more on quantity and not so on the quality. So with the exception of the special reserve that was produced in 1969, and it's still our most successful wine, you know, we had to, again in 2006, when the Symington family, because this is a family-owned company, when they bought the assets in 2006, and in 2010 the rights of the brand, they had to you know, try to put again the quality on the top of
so
the
they
list.
bought it back from this
Yes,
corporate entity.
yes. So
Wow.
in the beginning it was a family-owned company, and then it was multinational, different multinationals, and now it's again a family-owned
wow.
company.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah.
awesome.
So it's wonderful how the history,
Yeah.
also it solves everything.
Wow, that's so cool.
So
That's
now we
great.
are still trying to
Yeah.
produce the best wines that we can, and to try to put Cockburns again in the
Do you guys sell a lot in the U.S.?
well, our main market is England.
England.
Still,
Okay, good.
and
Yeah.
Europe, because it's also closer.
Yeah.
We also sell to the US as well. I don't know what is going to happen now with
Yeah.
these.
Yeah,
It'd be interesting when you get back to have a
Yes.
look.
Yeah, I'd be curious. But
Yeah.
England makes sense because he loves port. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes
I
a
really
lot of
like
sense,
Port.
yeah.
Yeah.
We sell well almost all over the world, but our main
Yeah.
market is still
Oh,
the
good.
European.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
I try not to get it as much because I really like red wine, and if I get a bottle of port, I drink it like a bottle of red wine. So I could have like a bottle in a night because it goes down so well, so smooth.
It does.
And
The
it doesn't.
problem is that
That's the problem, yeah. And then I kind of had a bottle of port in a night, just on an evening with some cheese and.
Oh God! And then you wake up 3 days later like,
Yeah.
why?
I know people that they kind of cure the flu with port wine.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
it helps.
Yeah.
But we have to stay at home.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because otherwise it will be very difficult. Yes.
Well, thank you
Thank
so
you very
much.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Right. Do you want to go first? Special reserve. Do we go this way?
Let's go special late 10.
Wait.
Yeah, so left
Start
to
with the.
right. No, it's left to right.
Yeah.
So special late 10.
Oh yeah. Right. Okay. Right. Do you want to go first?
Good morning. We haven't eaten anything, and we're about to down 3 different ports. So let's see. So this is the special reserve. Fine peppery tannins. Seasoned oak vats and casks. Distinctive elegance and balance. Ooh, okay. Okay, so it doesn't smell too liquory. So let's see. Oh wow. It's got like a little dryness at the end,
Yeah.
but it is really good.
So this I think I must have had.
Oh my God, that would be so good with like a cheesecake.
Ooh. Ooh. That's just what it smelled like walking around there. You could smell it. It's that. It kind of is that like woody smell, you know, that barrel smell. Yeah, that dryness at the end. I just love it. It is like a jam.
It's like jelly.
Yeah.
You know what it's like? It's like
like a
I want some
loose-
toast.
Yeah.
Put it on
oh,
a toast.
I'm surprised they don't do that.
Actually, that sounds kind of gross now that I said it. Like just dunking toast in port wine.
I'm not sure.
I like it.
That sounds quite good.
It's good though,
No,
right?
I like this. I mean, about the
Yeah.
toast. I think I would do it.
I mean, definitely. Oh, you know, it'd be so good to do like some cherries or like raspberries and do like a port wine reduction.
Yes.
And put some fruit in that, and then put that on top of like a cheesecake or like a white cheese or whatever.
Definitely. So you know how croissants, dipping in coffee. That's a thing. I bet you could do it.
I wouldn't dip a croissant in port. That's kind of weird.
Right. What I say is, if you like it, then nothing's wrong.
No.
So
If
you
loving croissants is
if you
wrong.
like croissants, if you like port.
And then if you like too much port,
Right. So what do we do? Do we drink the full thing, or do
No,
we
I think we
taste,
taste them all
and then
first.
neck them all?
no, we can't neck it. Okay, we're gonna try this one. Oh, cheers.
Whoa.
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 Okay, so late bottled vintage. LBV are wines of a single very good year that age in larger vats until they reach the perfect level of maturity, deep ruby color, lifted nose of ripe red fruits, strawberry, raspberry. I definitely smell that. On the palate's wonderful with intense flavors of black currants, yes, and jammy notes. That's all the words. Those are words that are English.
Those are words.
Those are words that are English.
What's it smell like?
It smells like there's a wine in the US called Jam Jar, and it smells
Yeah,
like jam jar.
yeah, that'll be like a jam shed.
It's like a jam. It's a little more tart.
Yeah,
It's good though. Favorite's this one for sure.
yeah, what the first one?
Yeah, out of these two so far. I
Right.
do like it though.
Does it say the, doesn't really say the percentages, does it? Cyanide,
I mean, I'm
they're all the
assuming
same one.
20.
Yeah.
What? So what's the percentage of like liquor? Like 80 proof? Like if a
I don't know
shot?
what proof is. We go on percent, which it'll be 40. Like whiskey, vodka.
Whiskey's 40?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sorry
Oh
for
my god.
interrupting.
No,
Oh, thank
thank
you very
you.
much.
Oh my
The
gosh.
Casa Adão and the restaurant São Gonçalo.
Oh my god,
Perfect.
I
thank
don't
you.
know many of them, but our
Okay.
colleagues say that these are okay.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
where
good.
Sometimes we have lunch, so
Fabulous.
it's not, I would say, more typical.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what we
Let's
want.
hope
Yeah,
so.
that's what we want.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So,
Okay, pop on in.
oh yeah, it feels
Has a sharpness at the
sharper.
beginning,
Yeah, I was going to say sharper.
but then it's soft.
Do you know what it is? It's like full HD, whereas this is like
Standard.
standard. Yeah, this is full HD. It is sharp.
Yeah. But you know what though? Actually, in tasting this one, kind of go between them.
They're probably a similar percentage, but
But see, you know what's
that kinda
cool?
seems like it might be stronger.
But what I like about this is I feel like I could pour this into one. I know that sounds blasphemous, but I feel like I could pour it into one and I'd be like, tastes great.
I think you'll find it's called blending.
Okay, so this is the 10. It's a little bit, it's very amber, it's very yellowy, it looks kind of like old ass honey. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Notes of caramel, vanilla, honey. Yeah, okay, well, cool. So perfect as an aperitif or an alternative to vintage port.
So are they ordered in this way because they're going up in age, or
I
is
think,
it?
yeah, because special reserve is the more right, like normal late
Right.
bottled vintage, and then 10 year.
Yeah.
Okay. It tastes like, this is going to be blasphemous sounding, but it kind of tastes like if you took the Jim Beam honey, and
Yeah.
you just took all the alcohol flavor out and you were left with like the honey
Yeah.
flavor. It's really good. That's great.
Yeah.
No notes.
Yeah, so it is. I feel like it's lighter. It is, yeah.
It tastes also the lightest, in my opinion. I think it's my favorite.
Yeah, it's still obviously got that alcoholic kick, but lighter, like weaker. Not necessarily weaker, like more refreshing. I think.
I think it's just softer. It's much softer.
It feels colder as well.
I think it feels like it's really like soft. Like
I feel like it's definitely more refreshing.
Yeah.
I feel like if you were going to make a tonic, like she said.
I think if I would have that on like a summer. These two I would feel. The first one I think is more of like wintertime fireplace.
Yeah.
The second one would be like, I don't know, but the third is definitely like.
Sangria.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think you could have that like colder.
I'll be honest, this is my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, why am I so fancy?
Favorite. Right.
Girl, these people over here drinking full glasses. They're ready to stumble home.
My favorite probably is the
Standard.
probably.
The special. Oh, babe, you're just so standard and special.
Right, what do we do? Just like neck the rest. So, I want to ask you what you learnt on the tour, if anything that you didn't already know.
I thought it was cool to know about the barrels and like how they don't ever have to make new barrels because there's so much existing wood.
Yeah, that's crazy. Mine,
cool.
I know mine, and I know it's one of yours as well. But I only just learned, after years and years and years of saying it, I think it's because I've never seen it advertised, that it's pronounced Cockburns.
Yeah, not the other way.
Yes.
I was over here like, that's why I booked it. But whatever, what do I know?
Yeah, I never knew that. So
just remember,
Cockburns. Right, enjoy. Cheers.
When you do a chain,
Click.
when you do chain, you can't blink and you have to stare at each other's eyes.
Chain. What's the chain?
It's Italian.
Oh. €10.
That's amazing. You can't take it anywhere.
That's really good though. Like,
Babe, look at this pizza.
where's that?
A place we might go to.
Those are really good for 10. So I'm gonna have to get a bottle, definitely. At least just the special reserve. 13.50. What would you have?
What would I have?
Yeah.
The 10.
Which one?
The 2010? I think it's this one. 20.
Oh, that's the one. That's what you'd have.
Wow, it's beautiful. Look at the branding. We're going to a vegetarian buffet.
Buffet. Oh, I also really like this. Oh, yeah. I was thinking something a little cheaper.
Yeah, maybe a little. It's a little bit pricey.
Maybe for you. And that is that for today's vlog. Thank you so much for coming along with us on this couple of days in Porto. There are more to come, we have more planned. so please do stay tuned for those. There is also a travel day vlog out if you haven't yet seen it, so you can go and check that one out. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please do like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Leave me a comment if you have any questions or just want to say hi. I will get back to you. Safe travels, and as always, goodbye. See ya. Toodle.